Okay. Starting with Reddington. Currently working on a lava substance. I love to have some critiques. I'm experimenting with 2017.2 with shapes. Started this one a while ago, and I wanted to finish it this week. So style-wise, looks cool. Love the, like, you have this one thing that you keep doing in your stylized materials, which is this swirl, which is pretty awesome. I guess if I had to say anything about this material, where the lava, or like, so this edge here, right, this lifts up, and you have this lift here. It would be nice to see a gradient of lighting in the albedo, or I guess in the emissive, because I assume that there's an emissive map with this. So that way it kind of looks like your the rocks or stones are being underlit. Have a good dinner, Tobias. Yes. So there's that, and then I think where these stones are kind of colliding into each other, you're gonna need to get an ambient occlusion, even if it's stylized, just some type of an AO to kind of separate these pieces from each other, because right now they kind of look like they're melting. And maybe they are melting. It's a little hot. Material's a little hot. So albedo, and then some more approach on like how you're gonna manage the interaction between the lava and the stones. Willie. So these pics are old, you're saying? These ones? Wait a minute, what? So I'm gonna close these and open this one. Okay, so nice, got a gun. Propping. Some more propping. This is looking cool. It might be a little on the reflective side. Voron. That's good, man. So this is, I mean, this is looking pretty good. The wall as well is looking much better. I'm still I think you're still lacking the dirt everywhere. I can see it on the ground, but maybe if the ground color was lighter, like a light concrete, or like something like that, with maybe some oil stains and stuff, and then placing these kind of dirt patterns on top of that, just getting a visual separation between the two is really going to help sell how much dirt is actually kind of around the scene. Overall, though, it's looking pretty good. There's a lot of scale issues actually, and resolution issues. So up here, resolution seems to be much lower than the tiles. The width of this seems to be much narrower than you would expect. Like, I would actually grab this and stretch it so it's maybe like here and here, and that would probably feel much more natural. The inside of the pillar here is very strange to me. Like, pillars are usually poured just because of support reasons. They need to be really sturdy, and having it stacked bricks like this is very strange. I think what it should be is probably some more exposed, like brick, or not brick, concrete, and then maybe some rebar coming through, just to help support the scale of it. I really like that you're trying to tell a story in here, though. And what is this stuff? The caulking? Nice touch of detail. It's really good. So check your scale on things. Make sure things don't look skewed. Get a character in there just to double check sizes on things. Check your texture resolutions and just keep pushing on. Don't be afraid to place, like build a pile of dirt and then place it around things, and then just have props sitting in that pile. That'll probably help quite a bit. The other thing too is be careful with how soft this transition is right here. Like you have dirt and stuff, but it's very like soft. You probably want to do those as like floating alpha cutout or like decals where you can get some true separation between the two. Next up, we got a control room. Is it Fiblo? So this scene has come a long way. There's a lot of stuff going on in it. There's like, good job adding more papers. Propping wise looks pretty good. Let me see here on the lighting. Because right now the lighting actually looks pretty dark. I could expect all these light sources to be giving off some type of lighting to fill the space. So maybe like, yeah, see how your histogram is way over there? I'd expect it to be down maybe up here and then go up and then down and finish out like that. So maybe like, let's see here. I mean, your emissives can be pretty bright. Let's see what that. So see, right now you're missing basically a lot of your mid to high range. The high range, you're probably missing because you're trying to make it such a dark scene, right? The best thing I would suggest doing is lighting it as if everything is okay. So that way you end up placing all the lights where they're supposed to go and everything looks complete. And then start turning off lights and breaking lights or switching to a more emergency state. And then you'll naturally create a lighting scenario that is more correct to like where the lights actually are. And make sure to remember that everything that's emissive or glowing or lit is emitting lighting. What's up, Ghost? Ghoster Soldier? How you doing? Something like this could be made in Blender, which is a free package, Modo, which is by the Foundry, or Autodesk products like 3ds Max or Maya. And there's some other ones as well. Other than that, I think your scene's looking pretty balanced. It's looking pretty good. I think more stuff floating on this table would be really cool. Nice to see the coffee cup, and it looks like you've spilled some stuff on there. Man, you're like putting everything in there I suggest. That's kind of cool. I feel honored. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Soldier. Oh, right. Albedo. Yeah, your albedo looks pretty good. The walls, like the lighter stuff, might be a tad too light, but I think it's still okay. It might be all right. Yeah, this looks cool. This is really coming along. Oh, this is cool too. Nice little breakdown. Bumby, you got a drink ready? It's on. So good. This is looking great though. It's come a long way. Nice. So I'm not very good at cars, but this looks cool. I like the paint job. I'd be curious to see how you did the decal work. Model and bakes are not mine. They're created by Renafox. So you did Substance Painter texture work. I mean, overall, it looks pretty good. Oh, the bottom. I don't know about the bottom, though. So the bottom looks projected, right? I think the bottom of the car, you don't even need to show. Like, if you could stop people from looking under there, you'd probably be in a better spot. Because you don't, yeah, showing this is just weakening your position. The other thing is solving the glass. The guy who modeled the car definitely needs to make interiors or some type of interior. That way you can have better glass. Material wise, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Metalness looks all right. I'd actually expect depending on the material of the car, you're going to end up being a little bit on the metalness for the paint. Yeah, if it's for a contest, I mean, that's that, you know. Overall, though, dude, the pattern stuff is pretty cool. This text up here, I mean, it looks like you were paying attention to reference and or just know about cars. This, I think from a design standpoint, I think this bottom edge here and this bottom edge here is very strange that they're striped like that. I could expect them to be more solid like this color. Like make that solid and then make this solid. I think it's an element that's being used in a strange way. That's interesting you chose not to do it down here or make this one white here. The shatter effect was hand painted? Dude, you're freaking crazy. What, Jordan? What? That I don't what? Yeah, maybe a checker. Well, I feel like a checker pattern also kind of gets away from the look. I really like this the heartbeat. I mean, in general, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I play a game where I'm racing. I'm just imagining myself racing now. Because that's exactly how you move. What's up, Zio? How you doing? What's the noises? Ark, thanks for the follow. Dude, that was double sounds. That was weird. I don't know about that. Yeah, the checker I think will look strange, but maybe a solid, just because it's solid up here. Having this solid probably would look best. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. This looks freaking bad. Censorship. Got to get the kids watching the stream. Hey, Dan, I'm still working on the texturing for this. Still needs material breakup, dirt, etc. But any feedback you could give me, what I have so far would be great. It's currently using one 4K map, so I'm thinking of breaking it into 2 UV sets to get more res out of it. He's still chasing the fly. So 2 UV. So this is one texture map. My God. Okay, so you could probably get a whole lot more resolution if you just have tileable materials. UV set 1 for your bakes. UV set 2 is unwrapping everything and getting the texel density the same on all of it. Right? And then tagging each of these, like in UV set 1, you could make a color map to say which material is what. And then start applying those colors. Because I think, I mean, resolution-wise, it looks really good. But, man, 4K, breaking it up into 2 just to get higher resolution is, like... I think these little details here and, like, this little thing and this... Maybe this one could have its own unique texture in normal. And then the rest is just, like, masks and tileable materials. That is how you would get the best resolution with the least amount of texture usage. Like the mask could be like 2K and it would look way higher res. In general though, the details look pretty good. The wear and tear looks pretty nice. There's really subtle amounts of scrapes and scratches here that are pretty cool. I think some discoloring maybe in the orange could be nice. Doesn't have to be really intense, just slight shifts in the value or the saturation. Why is it -3 points? What is this? You guys, upvote that. That's ridiculous. I can't upvote it because I don't have an account. I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to upvote that later. So this, whoops, is looking pretty cool. Yeah, one for bake, one for textile density. Because bake, you're going to have a little bit of size variation because you're getting everything into the 0 to 1 space. But in UV set 2, you can just unify the scale of all the UVs. Right? So that is a bookshelf. I would look at your wood grain direction here and then get some more range in your roughness for the bookshelf itself, because right now what you're missing is kind of like showing the sheen that helps explain how much this is actually damaged up here. And then, like I was saying, the wood grain up here needs to be going the other direction. I like the addition of the boxes on the bottom. I feel like maybe they might be a little square. Like square boxes, huh? That's kind of what they are. I'm sorry. Maybe adding a few cuts and kind of bending it a little bit so that they're just not, like, you're kind of doing it here. A few more on these guys will help a lot. And then this shape stuff here is really strange. I mean, you could have these taped and have a different roughness value for the tape. It looks like you do, but it's just very subtle. I'd also be careful about the saturation and value on all of the books, because they kind of look like they're all photo sourced and they're just kind of in random ranges. So we got time. I can show you. Hang on here. So we got this, right? Just gonna do this so we just get some shape variation. Okay, so looking at these stairs, nice. What is going on here? There we go. I get really picky about this stuff. Okay, so you've got the shape variation stuff going on. In one UV set, let's do this. That is totally not relaxed. Planar, we want Atlas. All right, so also we're gonna do this. I'm gonna hide that, so we're just looking at these. So let's say that's your UV set for your bake, right? You would where we at here? Pack. That's a terrible pack, but whatever. So say this is your UV set where your normal maps and your masks are going to be. So some of these, like this one and this one and this one, say those ones are marble based. And then the other ones are, let's say these ones are concrete. So there's two separate materials, but they're going to be in the same bake. So UV set 1 has all of these guys in, like, packed in so that you can get the bakes. And then you're also using this UV set to get a color mask so that you can separate, like, the marble ones, let's say they're red, and then the concrete are blue. So you can see which ones are red or blue, and then the engine can interpolate that to map the materials to those parts of the mask. But if you, like, I don't have a texture to apply to this that shows the grid, but the texture resolution, like if some of these are totally different sizes, and then let's relax these, and then let's pack them again. So some of these are smaller than the others, and they're just kind of squished in there. So then what you would do is you would, oops, not groups, vertex maps. What you want is another UV set. So we got texture 1 and texture 2, or UV set 0, UV set 1. We can just go to this one and we'll copy this and put it in here and paste that. Then we'll take these, and for the sake of directionality of the materials, maybe they need to all be straight. So just make sure that these are all kind of roughly, I'm sure there's a script to do this, but it's all good. There you go. Okay, so these are all probably different resolutions or sizes. So you would take these, and I don't have a hotkey for it right now, so we're just going to go over here to the actual UI that they've made. And I mean Foundry. So they have a texel density thing here. This has crashed before when I clicked it, but I'm going to do it anyways. So 1 meter in texel density world space is 1024 texture. So you normalize everything and then apply. And so now your UVs are scaled to match a meter being a meter in space being a 1024 in texture space. So in this UV set, you would tell the engine to apply materials tiling to this UV set. And those materials are being masked by the mask in UV set 1 or UV 0. Hopefully that makes sense. That's texel density. All right, so we got some bricks here. Where are we at here? This is from Jordan. What's up, man? Fix height map issues. Looking for critique on color and bricks as well as presentation. Okay, so I'm trying to think how to best approach this. Right now, I guess I need to see the other maps because I need to debug what's going on. Kareem, it's just a texture coordinate node, and then you just tell it what UV set to look at, and then you plug that into the texture UVs. Splinter Shield, what's up, man? Happy Thanksgiving. Also, nice podcast on channel jackets. That's what I call them now, channel jackets. Good stuff. Dude, those little emotes, those are great. So I think material-wise, man, it's hard to tell. Right now, everything roughness-wise kind of seems pretty uniform. The roughness between your the stucco that's kind of chipping away and the bricks is kind of the same. Getting those to separate themselves a bit will be good. And then there's like a detail normal, it looks like, or like a noisy normal that you have going on in your bricks. Be careful with like how random it is. Right now it feels very random, but I really need to see if you want to link, it doesn't have to be during the stream, but if you want to link the maps, that would be awesome, because then I could see. Oops. Oh, I freaking hate you. Why? Arrow keys don't work. Okay, so this is what it was before. So it's definitely there's more depth in it, but you've lost a lot of what was really unique about your albedo in here. So probably bringing that back would be really, really good. And your grout seems to have been pushed back quite a bit, so you're not really catching any of those details either. But I mean, overall, you're getting more depth from your substance, so that's really good. I think you should probably concentrate on your on your height map and your normal generation and your AO and your roughness. Get all of your maps in order before doing the albedo and share those on the Discord. That way we can actually look at like how those are interpolating. You can get those for next week's critiques, or you can place them in the art related channel, and I can just look at it within like the next hour or less. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. We do need to get some variation in the albedo, but I think you should worry about the materials definition height map wise first. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then having a tileable of this as well would be really good, because then you can interpolate between them. Oh, yes. So this scene has come a long way. Trees look much better. Much better. I think getting some definition in the... let's just zoom in here. In these, so they're not so flat in the albedo, will go a long way. Hey, Din, is there a way to paint using the multi-UV set tiling textures in Substance Painter? Not really. Not really. What I actually have done to fix stuff like that is make a duplicate of the... This is so shitty. But make a duplicate of the file and delete the UV set that's not unique, or make the unique 0 to 1 the first UV set, because Substance Painter looks at that one. Looks at the first UV set. But they need to support multi-UV sets so that we can start experimenting with stuff like that without having to like figure out workarounds. Dude, look at the detail on this ground. So all of this detail here, if you could get some like soft lighting between them, that would be super sick. Or just some more depth between them. Because it's really cool. You're building all this stuff, but you're not benefiting from it much unless we zoom in on it. It's good stuff. The only other thing I think I'd mention is the grass is very uniform in height, and you kind of want to have like the grass fall off as it goes away. I like your ferns. Oh man, I'm zooming in all crazy. I really like the ferns, but I feel like they need some more curve to them. Not all of them, but just some of them needs to be larger and kind of healthier looking. This telephone pole is pretty interesting. It's really interesting that there's like a light coming off of it. They don't usually combine those two together, do they? This like leafy stuff, it'd be pretty cool if it came up this a little bit. Kind of a vine or ivy-like. This rock looks pretty cool. I mean, overall, what I'm liking is this has like a really interesting composition. I think bringing the bicycle up closer could tell a bit of a story. I like how this trails off to the back here. And I think with some work on the grass height, you could help tell the story of like different paths that you can take. Hey girl, I like your ferns. The mushrooms, I know you said are work in progress, but I love that you're adding those. It's pretty cool. The leaves that are on this tree stump as well are pretty cool. I think they're kind of taking over the tree stump a little too much. Maybe being on the side and really adding a silhouette would be pretty cool. Yeah, man, these up close look really nice. It's a shame the mipping makes them solid so quickly. Yeah, he says in the in his comment the mushrooms are still work in progress, so they just don't have any textures on them right now. I'm assuming these guys. But yeah, I think these leaves down here too, maybe if you had just slight variations in color or value, it could be pretty interesting. Especially like when you start putting them on things like this rock, you start to see them separating themselves from the rock. But yeah, get some gradation on the grass height. Some more kind of ivy stuff climbing up some of these. Check out your bark. Right now it looks like it's kind of got like a tiling knot that goes all the way up the trunk. But this is definitely on its way to being done. And it looks pretty cool. This guy here feels a little soft. And I think maybe you'd benefit from those nails being darker. Maybe some bird poop up there. Would be pretty cool. And then getting this to be more of a metal base. Right now it doesn't feel very metally. But yeah, pretty solid. All right. This lamp though. So this lamp's pretty cool, but man, you're really cutting your poly count low. You don't need to have it this low. Like, I don't know what the, oh yeah. So poly count wise, you could probably add another 50 polys just to smooth things out. Like here, you could probably bevel that and bevel this one. And then just smooth this out. Just make this nice around. Bevel this guy and kind of round that out some more. Don't worry about things being too expensive. Worry about if it looks cool or not. If it looks low poly, then it'll look low poly, and that's all it'll look like. But material wise, I mean, you're really getting it. It's pretty cool. I kind of wish that because this light is on, I would love to see in your emissive for the glass what this glass looks like when the light is on. Because you would see like a glow here. Your previous teacher was very strict. So when that's the case, my personal opinion is it's easy to do lower poly, right? Well, I think it is. So if you made this mesh, you could make this rounded and then delete the loops and turn the one in with the loops deleted. So you could just go in and optimize it afterwards. It's actually really good practice too, in case you need to, in your job, you need to build some LODs manually. You're going to need to get used to making things look really nice and then find ways to optimize down the poly count to like half. You'll have to redo it. I don't know if you'll need to. Is it because you baked this information? Always do autolod. I mean, autolod exists and is much more prevalent than you would think, but it's not perfect. And there will be scenarios where you're going to need to do it manually. Don't do LODs at all. Shh, quiet. Shh. Do LODs for your teacher. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Make it look awesome. Put it on your portfolio. De-awesome it by down-resing it and turn it into school. Or just defy the teacher and take a mark on your grade. If it doesn't fail you, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, this advice, if you choose to take this advice, that is your choice. But if your teacher wants you to make something look good, make it and make it look awesome. If the teacher wants it within certain limitations, you need to fit those limitations. But at the same time, remember that you need to make it look good. So you should put it in your portfolio when it's higher res. And then just cut some polys out to get it within reason. Or like if you could take the hit and say, I just want to make it look good. You could take a nick on the grade. And then as long as you're passing the class, it's not too much of a problem. The other thing too is if everyone's fitting to this low poly look and you're pushing past that, leave them kids alone. If you're pushing past that and it's always, the result is always good and you're getting marked down, as long as you're not, if everyone around you is getting good grades and you're not, but your work is better, just pass the class. That's all I would say, is just pass the class. Dude, I took a character art class once because it was required. And the day I started on that class, the first thing I told the teacher is, I don't want to make character art. I want to make environments. And I told him, how about I try and put character into every single rock or rock formation I make in your class? And I just made rocks for a whole character class. And they were okay with it as long as the rocks look good. But yeah, it's kind of a give and take. Yeah, the other thing is, how do you turn this on? It looks like it's this guy. Here, you turn that. But visually, it always looks better if you have like the little chain with the little spheres. You touch it at the bottom. The future. The future. Ah, okay. I see. Okay, so your normal map is all types of crazy. I don't know how you're generating this, but that is why your material looks insane. And Bliss, that's awesome. So yeah, I think the way you're generating your normal, is this what is this one? Is your roughness? There, okay. So that's your height map. Yeah, right now I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Give me a second. I haven't opened Substance Designer in a while. Let me log in here. That's weird. It's not squared. Wow. Oh, I guess because this is the compression is real. Where are we at here? I'm just going to blur this to try and get some of the information back. Man, that compression, you can't hide that. I mean, I guess if you were to give me the info, then I could play around with it, but yeah, that compression's the real deal. So surface size, that's interesting. We got about 10 minutes, so I'm just kind of doing the thing. Let me know if you guys have any other things you want to look at or whatnot. This actually, I feel like we need to look at this. Base color. What? Oh man, it's been this long. I'm like, what? Ah, Reddington. I don't even know, man. There we go. So we don't need a base color. What we need is normal, roughness, and ambient occlusion. So we're going to plug in the normal, drag that on here, and the base color. What is going on here? That's interesting. You guys seen this? Whoa. Well, you see how the range is very uniform now? Ah, thanks. You're right. Oh. We actually probably don't need the roughness. Let's unexpose that. And then we need to make the metallic. Maybe let's expose the height, and then we'll plug the height in. Oh man. There you go. So I think you're I think what's happening is your range in your height map, the gradients are too strong. So see what I'm doing is averaging out your range. So like if you look at your, where are we at here? Just pull this up so you can see this. So in your histogram, like I'm clamping the range. So you want the full range, but you don't want it to be so extreme in your gradients. And then that will actually allow you to increase your strength of your normal map. It should be able to anyways. Yeah. So now your bricks aren't as extreme to each other. And then your AO, this AO is a little crazy right now. We need to lower that. Your real world scale, surface size. Have a good night, dude. Radius, we can lower that. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so that AO looks better to me. I mean, the height is a little extreme, so we probably need to lower that. But you can see what I'm talking about. Like, so this is the height that we ended up getting versus this height. So the range is just a little bit more condensed. And that's just to kind of offset the intensity of it all. Like you could go even lower because you don't actually need that much information in order to get all the maps that you're looking for. I'm still looking around here. So that already looks better, I think. But yeah, I think if you go in here too and then just go to your roughness and just kind of diffuse it a bit. I think that looks pretty good for what map you have right now. So I would concentrate on controlling the range of your histogram, or the range of your height using histogram. Because the difference is pretty big, I think. Like if I just plug these in. It gets crazy really fast. So your gradients are too large. But yes. The other thing that's a good idea to keep in mind. I'm gonna plug these back in. I'm like, wait, what's happening? Is it generating these? What's happening? Anyways, the other thing to keep in mind is, oh Jesus, is controlling your this UI. Okay, it's time to move stuff around. Pushing your ranges around, or not your ranges, your sorry, your material. So when you go and edit, just make sure if you're doing tessellation, make sure the scale is 1. And that way you have like a constant that you can work towards. Yeah, I could do the grayscale up here, but it just happened to be here. And I don't care because I'm not building like a whole material. If I was building a whole material, this whole thing needs to be grayscale. Like this, like you can just select this and just hit grayscale. And then you don't need this. You could do the blur high quality grayscale and then plug it into this and then make sure that you have like, what is it, the 0.11. There you go. Now Reddington can sleep. The other thing is if you press D, you can collapse things into each other if you need to. But yeah, cool. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully that was informative. Thanks for the new follows. Tweaky, thanks for the follow. That's why there were 2. You just showed up a little bit later. Anyways, all right, cool. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your week. Stream was fun. You're fun. I like you. I like all of you. All right, have a good weekend. And for the any Americans in there, happy Thanksgiving. All right, cheers, guys.